little update video. It is getting pretty cold out here in Canada, and we've ran into a few issues. Issue number one being the water tank. I kind of didn't think about what size of water tank I could put in there, and one small issue, or pretty big issue, was I wanted to get the water tank as low as possible in the frame, just to have that weight centered a little bit so we don't have that body roll going around corners. And what we did was we kind of put it between the frame rails of the truck, and turns out it's pretty tough to find a water tank in that size. So after searching and searching for a company that can make a water tank in our required size, we've kind of come up with a solution. Surprisingly, we actually here locally where we live have a plastic company that can make custom tanks, but also they had a tank that would actually fit somewhat. We're gonna have to compromise a little bit, raise maybe the floor by an inch, which is no big deal. Just another inch of insulation is not a big deal on the floor, especially because we found that on our last campers the floor was a little cold, and that was a slide-in camper, of course, not a custom built. But we should see the water tank here this week, and we can finally close up the floors, and we install one window kind of just to see how it is and what we got to do. But other than that, finally we will have our floor in, and we'll make a new video for that. But for the time being, just so you guys are updated and know what's going on, we did not quit building this camper. We just had a little hiccup, and yeah, we ordered lights. We ordered exterior lights for the marker lights, because by law you're required to when you're certain height and certain length. So we got those on the way, but also we're kind of contemplating on our battery system. We are debating of going with the all-in-one or going all separate. Some people think that it is more useful to get the separate systems, because when one goes down you can kind of replace them one by one, but the cost of that is almost double. So I'm kind of getting to the point that, hey, the all-in-one is going to be a cleaner setup. If it fails, you just get a new one for like $1,500 Canadian, and you kind of call it a day. Whereas, say, a Victron system, if you're piecing it all together, it's going to cost you probably $3,000–4,000. And yeah, so we're getting to that point too. We're probably going to end up going with 800 amp hours of lithium, and we're going to set it up in the back bed area, and that's going to be kind of the hub for the electrical system. If you guys have any recommendations on the solar system and the battery system, what are your thoughts? Put them down in the comments below. And yeah, the water system is going to be more based, so in the floor is going to be one tank, and we're going to have another tank a little bit higher up, and it's going to be centered right above the axle, which should distribute that weight perfectly. We haven't insulated the roof, which we're waiting for cutting out the door and all the other windows once the floor is in, and start heating this place with a diesel heater just to get that moisture out of here, because at night it's kind of getting to minus like 6 degrees Celsius, and kind of building up some moisture up on the ceiling here. So we're just gonna kind of wait for that. So I just don't want any moisture between the panels and the actual aluminum sheeting from the outside, so we don't get any like rust or rot or mold issues in the future. So kind of want to just dry this out for a few days and then glue all that in. One other thing that we have done in the meantime, which we didn't bother to really document that, it's just painted the whole frame. Like all the little 1x1s and all the 2x2s and all that is fully painted just for that rust prevention, because it is steel after all. That would be the last thing we'd want, is to start rotting from the inside out. So we did that, but yeah, other than that, we haven't had much chance. Just life kind of gets in the way and it gets busy, but we're hoping that once the water tank is in, we'll actually start hammering away on this and actually get some work done.
3 weeks later.
So, as you guys know and see, there's always some sort of complications with a project of this size. It's definitely a huge undertaking for us. Never built anything like this. Have done some construction, but other than that, never really built a camper. We finally figured out the water tank situation, and thanks for tuning in on this episode. And on the next episode, we'll be installing the windows and doing our insulation and our floors. Subscribe if you haven't already. That helps us out a lot. Check you on the next one. Peace.